If you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect confidence, then listen carefully, because the world does not reward people who wait. It rewards people who show up even when everything inside them is screaming to stop. Most people don't fail because they are not talented. They fail because they are not consistent. And the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life is not chasing a dream, not starting a business, not learning a skill. It is forcing yourself to continue when nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching, and when the results are still invisible. I have met many young people who are very smart, very passionate, full of ideas, full of energy. They talk beautifully about their dreams. They can explain what they want to do in life for hours. But when I ask them one simple question, how long can you do the same thing without seeing results? They become silent, because consistency is not exciting. Consistency is boring. Consistency is lonely. Consistency does not give you instant feedback, but consistency is the only bridge between where you are and where you want to be. In the beginning, everything feels powerful. The first day you decide to change your life, your heart beats fast. You feel motivated. You feel unstoppable. You promise yourself that this time will be different. But motivation is like a visitor. It comes, it inspires you, and then it leaves. Consistency is not a visitor. Consistency is a discipline. It is something you force yourself to do when motivation is gone. And if you rely only on motivation, you will quit faster than you started. People always ask, what is the secret of success? I tell them there is no secret. Success is very simple. Do the right things in the right direction again and again for a very long time. Most people cannot accept this truth because it is not glamorous. They want shortcuts. They want overnight success. They want to see results quickly so they can feel confident. But confidence does not come before consistency. Confidence is born from consistency. You don't feel strong and then act strong. You act strong every day and slowly you become strong. When you force yourself to be consistent, you are training something much deeper than your skills. You are training your character. Talent can give you a head start, but character decides how far you go. The world is full of talented people who gave up too early. It is full of intelligent people who lost to average people who simply refuse to quit. Consistency is the quiet promise you make to yourself every day. No matter how I feel, I will do what needs to be done. Let me be honest with you. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days when you feel stupid. There will be days when you feel like nothing is working. And on those days, your mind will start negotiating with you. It will say, take a break today. You deserve it. Or skip today. You can start again tomorrow. But tomorrow is a dangerous word. Tomorrow has destroyed more dreams than failure ever did. Because tomorrow makes you feel safe while stealing your time. Forcing yourself to be consistent does not mean being perfect. It means being present. Some days you will give 100%. Some days you will only give 20%. But consistency means you show up even with 20%. Because 20% done daily is more powerful than 100% done once in a while. The river cuts through the rock not because it is strong, but because it is persistent. In the early days, nobody will understand what you are doing. They will ask you uncomfortable questions. They will doubt you. Some will laugh at you. Some will tell you to be realistic. But remember this, people who have never walked your path cannot see your destination. If you need everyone to believe in you before you act, you will never move. Consistency means you continue even when the world is silent. You must understand that results have a delay. We live in a time where everything is fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast opinions. But growth is slow, mastery is slow, success is slow, nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. A seed does not become a tree overnight. First it grows roots where nobody can see. And consistency is the process of growing roots. If you dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing, you will kill it. Many people quit at the most dangerous moment, not when they fail, but when they are about to succeed. Because right before a breakthrough, things often feel the hardest. Progress feels invisible. You feel tired, confused, and doubtful. And if you stop there, you will never know how close you were. Consistency is trusting the process even when the process does not make sense. Force yourself to be consistent because no one is coming to save you. No one is responsible for your dreams except you. Your background, your past, your education, your mistakes. None of these matter as much as what you do repeatedly from today onward. The future is not built in one decision. It is built in daily behavior. When you are consistent, you stop asking, am I good enough? And you start asking, did I do the work today? That shift changes everything. You stop measuring yourself against others and start measuring yourself against yesterday. You stop chasing applause and start building substance. Consistency humbles you. It teaches patience. It teaches respect for time. There will be moments when you feel like quitting because you feel behind. You see others moving faster, others getting attention, others achieving milestones. But comparison is poison. You do not know their story, their struggles, or their shortcuts. Your only responsibility is to move one step forward today. That is it. One step. And tomorrow, one more step. Over time, those steps become distance. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Consistency is D. Discipline in action. When you force yourself to be consistent, you are making a long-term decision every day. You are saying no to comfort and yes to growth. And growth always feels uncomfortable at first. Understand this deeply. Nobody starts confident. Confidence is a result, not a requirement. You gain confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Every day you show up, even when it's hard, you build self-trust. And self-trust is more powerful than talent, luck, or approval. When you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Consistency also teaches you resilience. When you fail, and you will fail, you don't collapse. You adjust, you learn, you continue. Failure becomes feedback, not a verdict. The most dangerous people in the world are not the smartest, but the ones who can fail, stand up, and continue without drama. Force yourself to be consistent even when the work feels small. Small actions repeated daily create massive outcomes. 1 page a day becomes a book. 1 workout a day becomes strength. 1 hour a day becomes mastery. The problem is that small actions do not feel heroic. But heroes are not made in dramatic moments. They are made in quiet routines. If you want to change your life, do not look for big changes. Look for daily habits you can commit to. Make them simple. Make them boring. Make them non-negotiable. And then protect them like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. People often ask how to stay consistent. The truth is, you don't wait to fee. L like it. You decide in advance. You remove choice. You create structure. When consistency becomes a habit, it no longer depends on your emotions. And that is freedom. Because emotions change, but habits carry you forward. There will be times when you feel unrecognized, when your effort feels invisible. But remember, the work is not wasted. Every repetition is shaping you. Every day you show up, you are becoming someone stronger than yesterday. Even if nobody sees it now, life will show it later. Do not underestimate the power of staying longer than others. Most people quit early. If you can last longer, longer in learning, longer in effort, longer in patience, you automatically move ahead. Success often belongs to the last person standing, not the fastest runner. Consistency also teaches humility. It reminds you that success is rented, and rent is due every day. You never arrive and stop. You keep going, you keep improving, you keep learning. That mindset keeps you grounded and hungry at the same time. When you force yourself to be consistent, you stop living in fantasies and start living in reality. You stop dreaming about results and start building them. Dreams without consistency are just entertainment for the mind. One day, if you stay consistent long enough, people will call you lucky. They will say you are an overnight success. Smile and say nothing, because you will know the truth. You will know about the days you didn't want to continue but did. You will know about the nights you doubted yourself but still showed up the next morning. Force yourself to be consistent when it is hard, especially when it is hard, because that is when it matters the most. Easy days don't build strength. Hard days do. And every hard day you survive becomes proof that you can handle more than you think. Your life does not change when you feel inspired. Your life changes when you commit to consistency without excuses. Start small, start today, start imperfectly, but start and then continue again and again, quietly, patiently, relentlessly, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is shaping a future that only consistency can create. Consistency is not just a habit of action, it is a habit of faith. Faith not in miracles, but faith in process. Long before the reward appears, you must believe that every small effort is being counted. Just like the farmer who sows seed into the soil, he does not dig it up every morning to see if it has grown. He waters it, protects it, and waits. That waiting is not passive. It is active trust. And consistency is the language of that trust. When you show up daily, you are saying, I believe this will work, even if I cannot see it yet. Many people want blessings without discipline. They want harvest without planting. They want strength without resistance. But life does not work that way. Growth follows order. First effort, then struggle, then endurance, then transformation. If you skip consistency, you break the order. And when the order is broken, frustration replaces progress. Forcing yourself to be consistent is respecting the order of growth. There is a deeper reason consistency feels difficult. It exposes who you really are when nobody is watching. Anyone can perform when there is applause. Anyone can work hard for a short period when excitement is high. But consistency asks, who are you in private? Who are you when there is no reward, no recognition, no validation? That is where true strength is formed. And that strength cannot be borrowed or copied. It must be built. Sometimes you will feel like your effort is insignificant, like a single drop in a vast ocean. But oceans are made of drops. History is changed not by one dramatic moment, but by millions of quiet decisions made consistently over time. Do not despise small beginnings. Small beginnings are proof that something real is starting. There will be seasons in your life when consistency feels like obedience rather than excitement. Obedience to your goals, obedience to your calling, obedience to the person you promised yourself you would become. In those seasons, you are not being tested for talent, but for endurance. And endurance always comes before elevation. Understand this truth clearly. Life does not reward intention, it rewards execution. You may mean well. You may have a good heart. You may have great ideas. But the world only responds to what you do repeatedly. Consistency turns good intentions into visible outcomes. There is also something powerful that happens when you stay consistent long enough. You gain clarity. In the beginning, everything feels confusing. You don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know if this is your path. But clarity does not come from thinking. It comes from walking. Each consistent step removes a little confusion. Each day of action sharpens your direction. People often pray for direction, but direction is revealed through movement. W. When you sit still, everything feels uncertain. When you move consistently, answers meet you on the road. The path becomes clearer because you are willing to walk it. Consistency also protects you from emotional extremes. When things go well, you don't become arrogant. When things go badly, you don't collapse. You stay steady. You understand that progress has ups and downs, but your commitment remains the same. That steadiness is maturity. And maturity is rare. Force yourself to be consistent even when your emotions are unstable. Feelings lie, feelings exaggerate, feelings change with the weather. But consistency anchors you. It keeps you grounded when your mind is noisy and your heart is tired. There will be moments when quitting feels logical, when the numbers don't add up, when the feedback is negative, when the effort seems greater than the reward. In those moments, remember this, logic cannot measure future impact. Many of the most valuable things in life made no sense at the beginning. If you only follow logic, you will miss purpose. Consistency is how you honor the gift of time. Time is the only resource given equally to everyone. The difference is how people use it. Some waste it waiting, some consume it complaining, some invest it consistently. Over years, that difference becomes destiny. You must also learn that consistency does not mean rigidity. It means commitment with flexibility. Some days you adjust the method, but never abandon the mission. Some days you slow down, but you do not stop. Consistency is not about perfection. It is about persistence with wisdom. When you stay consistent, you begin to notice something surprising. Opportunities start appearing, not because you chased them, but because you were ready. Consistency prepares you quietly so that when opportunity knocks, you are not afraid. Luck favors the prepared, and preparation is simply consistency over time. Many people say they want to change the world, but first, you must prove you can manage your own daily discipline. If you cannot be consistent with small responsibilities, life will not trust you with bigger ones. Responsibility grows with reliability. Force yourself to be consistent in learning, consistent in effort, consistent in character. The world has enough people who start strong and finish weak. Be the one who starts quietly and finishes strong. There is a spiritual principle hidden in consistency. What you practice daily eventually becomes who you are. You are not defined by your best day or your worst day. You are defined by your repeated days. That is why consistency shapes identity. One day when you look back, you will not remember every hard moment. You will remember that you did not give up. And that memory will give you peace. Peace does not come from ease. It comes from knowing you stayed faithful to your path. Force yourself to be consistent when your progress feels slow. Slow progress is still progress. Stopping is the only real failure. As long as you are moving, life can work with you. When you stop, everything stops. You may not see the full picture now, but you are not required to see it. You are only required to take the next step. Consistency is trusting that the next step matters, even when the destination feels far away. Stay consistent when others are distracted. Stay consistent when others give up. Stay consistent when nobody understands, because consistency is not just how you succeed. It is how you become someone worthy of success. And as you continue day after day, quietly building, quietly enduring, quietly believing, something inside you will change before anything outside does. You will no longer ask for strength, because strength will already be within you. You will no longer fear the future, because you have proven to yourself that you can face today. And that quiet confidence, born from forced consistency, will carry you forward no matter how uncertain the road becomes. Consistency will eventually confront your excuses. Every reason you once used to delay will stand exposed in the light of your discipline. You will realize that most of the barriers were never real walls, only feelings that demanded permission to control you. When you keep showing up, excuses lose their voice. They cannot survive in an environment where action is practiced daily. There is a quiet transformation that happens when consistency becomes part of your nature. You stop fighting yourself. The inner resistance T had once felt heavy begins to weaken. What once required force slowly becomes instinct. Just as water flows naturally downhill, disciplined action begins to flow naturally from you. This is not because the work became easier, but because you became stronger. In many ancient truths, there is a pattern. Those who were trusted with much first prove faithful in little. Faithfulness is consistency under pressure. It is doing what is right when doing what is easy is available. Life watches how you handle small commitments before it releases greater responsibility. When you are consistent with what seems insignificant, you are signaling readiness for what is significant. There will be moments when you feel unseen, like your effort is disappearing into silence. But silence is not absence. Silence is incubation. Some of the most important growth happens in hidden places. Roots grow underground before branches reach the sky. If roots complained about darkness, the tree would never stand tall. Your unseen seasons are not wasted, they are essential. Consistency also reshapes your relationship with fear. Fear feeds on unpredictability. It grows when you hesitate, when you delay, when you overthink. But when your actions become routine, fear loses its power. You move despite it. And eventually, fear learns it cannot control someone who acts consistently. Many people wait for confirmation before commitment. They want signs, approval, certainty, but consistency often comes before confirmation. You walk first and clarity follows. You move first and confidence catches up. The path reveals itself to those who are already walking. There is a difference between being busy and being consistent. Busy scatters energy. Consistency concentrates it. A focused effort repeated daily outperforms chaotic effort done emotionally. This is why simplicity is powerful. Choose fewer things, but commit to them deeply and consistently. When setbacks come, and they will, consistency teaches you how to respond without panic. You do not ask, why did this happen to me? You ask, what is the next step? That mindset keeps you moving forward instead of spiraling backward. Pain becomes instruction. Delay becomes preparation. Consistency also trains patience, and patience is strength under control. In a world addicted to speed, patience feels like weakness, but it is not. It is the ability to wait without quitting. It is endurance without bitterness. Those who endure quietly often outlast those who rush loudly. You will notice that as you remain consistent, your standards rise naturally. You no longer tolerate mediocrity from yourself. Not because someone forced you, but because you respect the process too much to dishonor it. Consistency creates self-respect, and self-respect changes how you show up everywhere in life. There is also a cost to inconsistency that people rarely talk about. It erodes self-belief. Every time you quit, delay, or break a promise to yourself, insight weakens. Consistency repairs that damage. Every kept promise rebuilds inner strength. Over time, you stop doubting whether you can handle difficult things because you already have proof. Do not be surprised if consistency isolates you. When you commit deeply, your priorities change. Some conversations no longer interest you. Some habits no longer fit. Some people may misunderstand your distance. But isolation is sometimes the price of alignment. You are not withdrawing from people. You are advancing toward purpose. Consistency is also an act of humility. It accepts that mastery takes time. It bows to the process rather than demanding shortcuts. Humility keeps you teachable, and those who remain teachable grow faster and further than those who think they already know enough. There is an ancient wisdom that says steady diligence leads to abundance while haste leads to loss. Rushing often looks like ambition, but it hides impatience. Consistency looks slow, but it carries wisdom. It respects timing. It understands seasons. It builds without burning out. Force yourself to be consistent, especially when progress feels invisible. Invisible progress is still progress. Just because you cannot measure it today does not mean it is not happening. Strength, wisdom, resilience, and discipline are forming quietly. One day they will reveal themselves in moments that matter most. As you continue, you may notice that challenges no longer scare you the same way. Difficulty becomes familiar territory. You have been here before. You have pushed through before. Consistency gives you history, and history gives you confidence. Eventually, consistency changes how others see you. Not because you announced your plans, but because your results speak without noise. Reliability becomes your reputation. People trust those who are consistent, not those who are impressive in words. More importantly, consistency changes how you see yourself. You stop identifying as someone who tries. You become someone who does. That identity shift is powerful. It affects how you make decisions, how you handle pressure, how you face uncertainty. Force yourself to be consistent, even when the reward is delayed. Delayed reward trains maturity. Immediate reward trains dependency. Those who can wait grow deep roots. Those who need quick results remain shallow. There will come a moment when you realize that the discipline you once forced has become the strength that carries you. What once required effort now provides stability. You are no longer chasing momentum, you are living in it. And as life continues to test you, stretch you, and shape you, consistency will remain your anchor. Not loud, not dramatic, just faithful, steady movement forward, one day at a time. Proving again and again that persistence outlives talent, endurance outlasts excitement, and quiet commitment builds a future that cannot be shaken. There is a moment in every long journey when consistency stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like alignment. You wake up and realize you are no longer dragging yourself forward. Something deeper is pulling you. This is the moment when your inner life and your outer actions begin to agree, when what you believe and what you do start walking in the same direction. That alignment brings peace, even when the work remains hard. Consistency also sharpens your discernment. When you move steadily, distractions reveal themselves quickly. You begin to recognize what feeds your purpose and what drains it. Noise loses its appeal. Drama loses its power. You stop reacting to every opportunity and start responding only to the right ones. This is wisdom born not from books, but from disciplined experience. There is an ancient truth that says a double-minded person is unstable in all ways. Consistency brings singleness of mind. It teaches you to choose your direction and stay with it. When your focus becomes steady, your energy multiplies. What once felt scattered becomes concentrated. And concentrated effort has a force that few things can resist. You may notice that consistency invites testing. As you grow steadier, challenges become more specific. Life does not test you to destroy you, but to reveal what has been built. Pressure exposes foundations. And if you have been consistent, pressure will not break you, it will prove you. Consistency teaches you how to forgive yourself without excusing yourself. On days when you fall short, you do not collapse into shame. You correct, you learn, and you return. That ability to return is powerful. Many people fail not because they make mistakes, but because they let mistakes define them. Consistency says, I may stumble, but I do not turn back. There is also a quiet joy that grows from consistency. Not excitement, not hype, but deep satisfaction. The joy of knowing you honored your commitment. The joy of knowing you did not betray your own potential. This joy does not depend on applause or outcomes. It comes from integrity, being whole, not divided. When you stay consistent long enough, your sense of time changes. You stop rushing seasons. You stop demanding instant outcomes. You begin to understand that some answers take years, not days, and that understanding brings patience without resentment. You trust timing because you trust your preparation. Consistency also strengthens your ability to lead yourself. Before you can lead anything else, people, ideas, organizations, you must first lead your own habits. Self-leadership is proven in what you do repeatedly, not in what you say occasionally. When you master your daily discipline, you earn authority over your future. There is a scripture-inspired truth that what you sow, you will reap. But it does not say you reap immediately. There is always a season between sowing and harvest. Consistency is how you survive that season without giving up on the field. Those who leave the field early never see what could have grown. As you continue, you may realize that consistency is not only about achieving something, it is about becoming someone. Someone dependable, someone resilient, someone grounded. These qualities are invisible at first, but they shape every visible success later. Success without these qualities is fragile. Success built on them is enduring. Force yourself to be consistent even when you outgrow your current level. Growth can feel uncomfortable, not because it is wrong, but because it is unfamiliar. Consistency helps you move through unfamiliar territory without retreating to old patterns. It gives you courage to stay in rooms where you are still learning. Over time, consistency rewires how you interpret difficulty. Hardship no longer feels like a sign to stop. It feels like confirmation that you are engaged in something meaningful. Easy paths rarely lead to deep places. Consistency keeps you moving forward when the path narrows and the climb steepens. You may also discover that consistency simplifies your decisions. When your values are clear and your habits are fixed, many choices make themselves. You are not constantly debating with your impulses. You already know who you are becoming, so you choose accordingly. Eventually, consistency leaves you with something rare in this world: quiet authority. You do not need to convince people of your seriousness. Your history speaks. Your steadiness speaks. Your presence speaks. And that influence is not forced, it is earned. Stay with it. Stay steady. Stay faithful to the small actions that no one celebrates. Because those actions are shaping a foundation that storms cannot easily destroy. And when uncertainty comes, as it always does, you will not be shaken, because you have trained yourself to stand, to continue, and to trust the power of daily, unwavering commitment. One day, long from now, you will stand in a quiet moment and realize that the life you are living was built by choices no one applauded. You will see clearly that it was not one bold decision, not one lucky break, not one dramatic turning point that shaped you. It was the days you wanted to stop but didn't, the days you felt ordinary but stayed faithful, the days you showed up with tired hands and a determined heart. And in that moment, you will understand that consistency was never about force. It was about devotion. You will realize that every time you chose discipline over comfort, you were honoring your future. Every time you kept going without guarantees, you were planting seeds of strength. Every time you resisted quitting, you were rewriting your identity. You were becoming someone who could be trusted with more, someone who could carry weight, someone who did not collapse under pressure. There is something sacred about refusing to give up. It is a quiet rebellion against fear, against doubt, against the voice that says you are not enough. When you stay consistent, you are declaring that your life has meaning beyond your ego. Jones, beyond your circumstances, beyond the opinions of others. You are saying, I will finish what I started. Let this truth settle deeply in you. You do not need to become someone else to win. You only need to become consistent with who you already are capable of being. Greatness is not distant. It is built daily, patiently, invisibly, through your willingness to continue. So when you leave this moment, do not wait for a new year, a new mood, or a new sign. Take the next step with what you have. Do the work today, then do it again tomorrow. Let your consistency speak when words fail. Let your discipline carry you when motivation disappears. And when the road feels long, remember this: you are not behind, you are becoming. Every steady step is shaping a future that will one day look inevitable. Stay faithful, stay steady, stay consistent, because the life you want is not reached by intensity, but by endurance. And endurance is built one day at a time.